My name is Rustam Beg, and this is my story. I was born in Lahore, Pakistan, in 1947. My uncle, he was already here. So, they talked to my father that if they want us to come to this country, they take them. And that time we didn't have any problem, coming to these countries because the British rule they were in India, and I think we have this in our mind or imagination that the Britain as it's like a gold mine, and here the roads were made beautifully, and it's the buildings are the glass buildings and things like that. And we just thought that why not we should go and see it. Only one thing really shocked me, that the girls and the boys, they were holding their hands and they're walking, and that was shocking to me. I did ask, I even today I remember it. I did ask my uncle. I says, the police don't catch them. The police just don't see, these boys and girls or women, the men's. They were holding each another hand and they're walking, So it was so embarrassing for me because basically I was a bit shy boy, So that was the first impression I got. When I came here, I was hoping that I'm going to go to the school. But my uncle, he took me to the factory, and he asked me, he says, would you like to work here? I says, well, I never spoke, but he said it yes. So he says, okay, you start on Monday. And on the way back, I did ask my uncle, but, am I now going to school? He did say to me, he says, no, I think you can take evening classes, but during the day you have to work, because your parents are in Pakistan and you have to work, to support yourself. Well, see, Southampton, I was working in a factory, and I never liked working because I was more independent in Pakistan. But when I came to when I was working there, it was hurting me, because my hands were getting dirty, and I think from my childhood, I used to keep myself very clean. It's just a habit of it. I'm not showing off, but this is what I was like. So when I started working there, I never liked because there was a oil were coming from the machines, and there was a ring we were making for the cars, and I worked there about 6-7 months. But I used to write to my parents all the time that I wanted to come back. I don't want to stay here. I was so my mother or my father, they said, if you don't like it here, you come back. So I did go back, and I stayed there. When I went back to Pakistan, I stayed there for 6-7 months, and I didn't want it to come back. But when I went back to Pakistan, I was sort of, the I wasn't doing anything there, where I start working here, and I was earning money. So when I went back there, even for 6-7 months, I could not go back to college. I could not do anything. So I came, after, I think I went in January, but I came back August, September. I remember even, I came back. But when I came back, I came back to Southampton again, and I tried to find a job, which, where I left. I think it was 1969 probably, when one of my cousins, she was getting married here. When we came for the wedding, I went to we attended the wedding, and then I went to see the SMT, the buses, the red buses. They used to have a depot, Old Kilpatrick, and I went to see them there. as a conductor, they took me. That was the first time, when I came to Glasgow. And I got the job, 1970. I went back to Southampton. And then I applied the job there on the buses, where I got it. I was very happy that I did get the job on the buses, where I was a conductor. That time, I sat for the car driving test, and I passed. But when I passed, I applied for the driving on the buses. And Len Penter, he was my instructor. So I passed the test. And I became a driver. That was a big achievement that time. Then I was a driver, bus driver. Naturally, every Asians, they went for the corner shops. So we got a shop in Gorbals. And that was before the shop. I went to the markets, all the markets, Inglestown and Paisley, and I worked there for. I think I started markets in 1975 till 79, and then then I got the shop in 80s. I got the shop. I went to Pakistan. When I came back, we got the shop, and for 3 years I was in the shop, grocery shop, and then we opened the cash and carry. It used to be Clyde Fashion, it called, and very successful. It went very highly. When we opened it, when we started it, and with, of course, help. We were three partners. And we started, and this is where it took off. The house we were living in, our next door. Because I was living at Paisley Road 12 that time, and our flat next door, they, when we were cooking, and one day, we got a police on our door, says, you are, this lady, next door, she can't stand the smell of curries. And I said, well, but the one of the policemen, he was quite happy. He says, oh, I love it. But the other one says, no, I don't. But they never said anything to me. But they did say that when you're making curry, would you please do us a favor, leave the window open so the smell of curry goes out. Because this woman next door, she's complaining. But after, I think, a few months, that woman, she was offering us money, to make curries for them. It's changed so much. We came to this country with empty hands, empty pockets. We work hard here. And I think if they work hard, they can achieve, what we've been missing. They can achieve that. Because we all, I think, one thing, they should always have a high aim, I would say, And another thing, I think they should respect their old elders. That's the main thing. They should give them a regard. They should help them, because when they get old. Because even though I've been living in this country for so many years, but I still have Asian culture in my mind, which even if I wanted to forget, I can't do that.